Hey guys, the Ramos Online here, bringing you a rated battle spot battle against a Japanese player named Pono. If I sound really groggy and my commentary is shittier than normal, that is because I am drugged up to my eyeballs on paracetamol and ibuprofen. I am pretty damn ill right now. So I lead with Gyarados and Raichu, and they lead with Salamence and Gengar. The Intimidate does come off on both sides. So the reason I run Raichu in this team is because it has very good synergy with Gyarados. It attracts all electric type moves, which is Gyarados' main weakness. It also lets Gyarados power up Raichu by using Thunder Wave on it, and it will activate its Lightning Rod ability. So he switches his Salamence out to avoid the Fake Out, which Raichu do tend to carry, and I go for the Protect onto my Gyarados. He protects on his Gengar, but I actually went for the Hidden Power, so he probably already knows I'm using Hidden Power Ice, so he definitely does not want that Salamence to come in against that. He does reveal that his Aegislash does have leftovers, and he goes straight for the Sludge Bomb onto my Gyarados. I go for the Thunderbolt onto his Gengar, dealing a hefty amount of damage. The Gengar must be more of a tankier set, or maybe it just has insane special defense and I haven't looked at it properly. So I go for the Taunt onto the Aegislash, preventing it from using Substitute, and I go for another Thunderbolt, which hits the Protect on that Gengar, and I go for the Waterfall onto the Aegislash. It stance changes and goes for the Shadow Ball onto my Gyarados, revealing itself to be a special variant. This is the same sort of Aegislash I've seen Cybertron use. It has Substitute, King's Shield, Flash Cannon and Shadow Ball, and holds leftovers, as you can see, and it tends to be modest with HP and special attack IVs and EVs. It goes for the Sludge Bomb onto my Gyarados the next turn. I could have protected on my Gyarados, but I wanted him to think I was going to do that. But he either predicts it well or just didn't mind an attack being blocked. So unfortunately, that is going to take my Gyarados out. The Aegislash did Shadow Ball my Raichu, but I did protect on it, and the Taunt wears off. So I go into Mawile and get the Intimidate off again. That's not going to be doing anything really, because both these Pokemon are special attackers. So he switches his Aegislash out into Salamence to get the Intimidate off onto my Mawile. I'm not too worried about this, because the only reason I brought Mawile in was to distract the Gengar. So I go for the Mega Evolution, and I went for the Protect, I think. No, I went for the Sucker Punch onto the Gengar. I wasn't sure if it had Will-O-Wisp, and that would have really screwed me over if it did, but it actually goes for the Protect. The Thunderbolt was meant to be hitting the unprotected Aegislash, but he does switch into the Salamence. Salamence takes a lot of damage from the Thunderbolt as well. And so he goes back into his Aegislash. I go for the Protect here, and the Gengar does reveal itself to have Will-O-Wisp, so I'm a bit worried about that. And I go for the Hidden Power again, hitting the Aegislash. I thought he might have kept the Salamence in with Fire Blast or Flamethrower, but he decided to switch it out. Not too worried about that. I am going to switch Mawile out here, and I go into my Ferrothorn. This is the same Ferrothorn that was used by Ray Rizzo, not the exact same one, but the build is almost identical. It unfortunately does have some IVs and speed. It isn't like 0 IVs and speed, which is a bit unfortunate, but it is running Brave with maximum HP and a little bit in special defense with the rest into my attack stat. It is able to one-hit KO Rotom Wash, so it is a very handy Ferrothorn to have. He goes for the Substitute onto his Aegislash, and he switches the Gengar out, getting off another Intimidate. I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe he did this to have the fire attack threat. I go for the Thunderbolt onto the Aegislash, knowing that will break sub. Aegislash not known for having the most HP in the world. The sub does break, and it stance changes and goes for the Shadow Ball onto my Raichu, I think. Yeah, that's going to hit my Raichu. Not too worried, because Raichu is holding a Focus Sash, but it doesn't take me down to the Sash anyway. I went for the Gyro Ball onto the Gengar, but because he switched in that Salamence, I'm going to be dealing that to it. And even with the Intimidate off, I'm at -1, it is still enough to KO the Salamence, so it was probably a choice Scarf Salamence. So he brings in his Mega Kangaskhan, goes for the Mega Evolution, and the obvious play here would be the Fake Out, so I decided to go for Protect on my Raichu, who is the obvious target of said Fake Out. As you can see, he does actually target my Raichu, so that was a very good predictor on my part. And he goes for the Shadow Ball onto my Ferrothorn, so he's not really giving me much, you know, much room. And he gets a special defense drop again. He's getting really lucky with these. So I go for the Leech Seed, and that is going to nail Kangaskhan. Not happy with this turn because my Ferrothorn has lost some of its special defense bulk, so that Aegislash could easily turn around a 1 to 2 hit KO very easily. I'm going to get some Lefties recovery and some Leechies recovery. My Raichu here, I think I switch Raichu out. Yes, I do. I switch Raichu out into Mawile because I don't want the Kangaskhan to knock that Raichu out. Raichu is my my last hope. So the Aegislash does stance change as well, giving me a free switch into my Mawile. I really could have stayed in with Raichu and gone for the Thunderbolt onto the Aegislash. Raichu does outspeed Kangaskhan, but I was also worried about Sucker Punch. So he goes to return onto my Ferrothorn. Not entirely sure what the thought behind that was, because he is dealing damage to himself. And that now puts Kangaskhan in kill range for an Iron Head. I did go for the Power Whip onto the Aegislash. I probably should have gone with Gyro Ball or Leech Seed onto Leech Seed onto the Aegislash or Gyro Ball onto the Kangaskhan, but that turns over now, so hindsight. I do get some Leechies recovery and some Lefties recovery, so that is always nice. Go for the Protect the next turn to absorb whatever was coming my way. He goes for the return onto my Mawile. Really, this was a wasted turn for my Ferrothorn because he does double target my Mawile. My poor little Mawile is going to be taking the full brunt of a double return and a Shadow Ball to the face. But fortunately, Mawile is a boss and she hangs on with 5 HP and is able to get off that 1-hit KO Iron Head onto the Kangaskhan. Down that thing goes. So I'm at a very uncomfortable 3-2 lead because my two main attacking Pokemon are very low HP and my wall is, well, not much of a wall anymore with with coming up to 2 special defense drops. I think it's either -2 now or -1. I know it gets -2 in a short while. So I go for the Protect to avoid the Will-O-Wisp, and he is going to Shadow Ball my Ferrothorn again. Ferrothorn hangs on with 3 HP, and there is the second special defense drop. My poor Ferrothorn barely hanging on. And I am able to get the Leech Seed off onto the Aegislash. So that was a turn I could have gone for Sucker Punch, but I wanted to play it safe. So I am going to get some Lefties recovery and some Leechies recovery, but that does not really matter at this point. Ferrothorn is going to be going down pretty soon. So I do switch Ferrothorn out back into Raichu as death fodder, but he actually does a big misplay here. I thought what I did was very, very predictable, but he didn't predict that turn. He's going to go for the King's Shield, and my Mawile is going to go for the Iron Head onto the Gengar. The Gengar is going to get the Will-O-Wisp onto Mawile, but Mawile is going to land that Iron Head, finishing off that Gengar, not exactly known for its physical bulk. So Mawile will feint this turn to that Will-O-Wisp. He would have had a lot more luck going for like an attack, but then obviously I do have the Sucker Punch threat. It's like Sucker Punch is a thing. I'm getting some Leechies recovery onto my Raichu now. Mawile unfortunately does feint to that burn, so down she goes. She did pretty okay, I'd say. So my last 2 Pokemon is Ferrothorn and Raichu, and the Aegislash is still pretty healthy. It should be able to, you know, wall me out pretty well, but there's another misplay, and he goes for the Shadow Ball onto my Ferrothorn. I really could have protected with Ferrothorn, but I decided to go with Leech Seed in case he targeted my Raichu. So Ferrothorn does feint head to that Shadow Ball, but with the Leech Seed and Raichu able to deal quite a bit of damage through its defensive form, the Aegislash is now in a hopeless position because it is not carrying the Shadow Sneak. That's the one. So I am going to get the Thunderbolt off, and that is going to finish off the Aegislash. Pretty intense battle. That lasted about 25 minutes. We almost reached the timer. So I do apologise for how poor I probably sound narrating this, commentating on this, because I am pretty ill. As a result, the guide on Skitty/Delcatty is slightly delayed, but not by much, so keep your eyes peeled for that. That will probably be my next video. I have got the Skitty fully EV trained, IV bred, it's got all the moves it needs. I'm actually testing out an Eviolite Skitty at the moment, at the suggestion of a fan, and once I've tested that out, I will be evolving the Skitty with the Moonstone to test out Delcatty, so keep your eyes peeled. If you like what you saw in this video, remember to like and favourite, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. I do this thing regularly now, I guess I'm a PokeTuber. I'm officially a PokeTuber now. So, thanks for watching, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next video.